welcome to the cake tip. Today we're going to be making mint and lime chocolate bars. To begin with, you're going to need a shallow 8 by 8 inch square tin lined with baking paper. Grab yourself a large bowl, and in this bowl you're going to place natural cashews. It's very important to use natural and not roasted or salted. Next, you're going to add 1 cup of desiccated coconut. This will need to be unsweetened coconut, followed by 3 tablespoons of either cocoa or cacao, whichever you prefer to use. Now for the flavouring, we're going to use natural fresh mint leaves. If you're lucky enough to have chocolate mint, use chocolate mint. It will taste even better. For some natural sweetness, we're going to add 3 tablespoons of maple syrup. Last of all, we're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of natural mint extract, just to enhance that flavouring. You're going to pop all of this into a food processor and process until it's fined and combined. Your end result after processing should be a sticky mix that will be easy to push down into your tin to create a nice firm base. Scrape all of your mix from your bowl into your tin. Once all the mix is in your tin, begin to move it to the corners to try and make it an equal depth throughout the whole tin. Using the back of your spoon, begin to push your mix down into your tin, trying to level it out as you go. This process does take a little while, but it's really important that you do this to make sure that you have a nice level base before you put any of the other toppings on. Finally, using a palette knife, make sure that the whole base is completely smooth before you pop it in the freezer to firm up. Grab yourself another bowl to create the centre of your bars. You'll need 1 cup of coconut flour. Add 1/2 cup of dates before adding to a food processor to process until fine like a flour mix. This is the sort of mix that you're looking for, ready for the rest of your ingredients. Now you're going to add 1 cup of natural cashews, followed by 1 tablespoon of natural cashew butter. For the flavouring for the centre of your bars, you're going to use the zest and juice of 2 limes. If you've not had mint and lime together before, once you've tried these bars, you'll be finding yourself making lots of different meals and cakes and treats with mint and lime, because it is such a fantastic combination. Before we add our mix to the food processor, we're just going to add a few pinches of spirulina, just to give us a fantastic green colouring. You'll need to process this mix for a fair amount of time because you're looking for quite a doughy mix at the end of it. From the coconut flour, it should be really moist. Remove your base from the freezer. It should be nice and firm and ready to add your middle section of your bars. Scrape the mix out of the bowl, and the same as before, you're going to try and get it to all of the corners to make it nice and even in height before you start to push the mix down. Using the back of your spoon, begin to push your mix down onto your base. It's exactly the same as before. We're going to push as hard as we can down on it to make it nice and firm. Once it's well and truly compacted as much as you can push it down with a spoon, grab yourself a palette knife again, and this is what you're going to use to make it nice and even and smooth. It's even more important on this section because you're going to be adding chocolate over the top, so it needs to be nice and smooth. Pop it in the freezer whilst you make your chocolate topping. For your chocolate topping, you're going to need 100 grams of sugar-free vegan chocolate, and you're going to add 1 tablespoon of coconut oil to this mix. You're then going to pop it in the microwave and melt it very slowly. The consistency you're looking for is very runny to be able to top your cake easily. Remove your tin from the freezer and you're now going to coat it with your chocolate. Pouring the chocolate into the centre of the tin so that you can move it around afterwards to make sure it's fully coated. You're going to reserve roughly 1 tablespoon for decoration. Now grabbing your tin, make sure that you move the chocolate across the top of the bars until it's completely coated. Then pop it in the fridge just for 10-15 minutes until it's gone firm. Pop it out the fridge and you're going to use that last little bit of melted chocolate to create decoration over the top. Put it back in the fridge for roughly 15 to 20 minutes for the chocolate to be able to firm up completely, ready for you to be able to cut up into squares. You'll know when the chocolate is firm because it goes a different colour. Remove it from the tin and we're going to begin to cut it into squares. For this you'll need a fairly sharp knife so that you can score the position that you want first of all. It's entirely up to you how many squares that you cut them into. If you're looking to store them in the freezer for a long period of time, you may choose to make them quite small, like I have. These bars are a great snack to have by yourself, or if you've got someone coming round and you want to share it with them. And because they're vegan, gluten-free and sugar-free and healthy at the same time, they're a fantastic snack. Because of the lovely lime colouring of these bars, they're not only fantastic to taste, but fantastic to look at as well. I hope you've enjoyed this video and come back to watch other videos for gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, keto and more. Please remember to subscribe for up-to-date notifications.